Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of natural gas. And here we are looking at it on the daily time frame. And in this video, I will also be going over 2x leveraged natural gas, ticker symbol BOIL, as well as United States natural gas, ticker symbol UNG. But before I get into those, I did want to go over the natural gas chart here because I do think it will provide a lot of insight into how those ETFs will be trading. And so here, looking at the chart and following last week's video, which I did put out on Sunday, so following the trading day of Friday, March 8th, we did get a little bit more of a retracement. But I do think it is encouraging the price that we closed this recent Friday, March 15th at. So we did close at a price of $1.75.9. So right where this dashed red line is at the base of this candle. And that does correspond with the 786 level from this retracement to the upside, which is at a price of $1.75.89. So we closed a fraction of a penny above that level. So I am hoping that the 786 does act as support. We did get a break below it, which does seem like it was a fake breakdown, as the following day, Thursday, March 14th, we did go up just over 5% on the day. However, we did retrace a lot of that, coming down just under 4% on Friday. And so my hope is over the next week, we do start to reclaim some of these levels to the upside. And I do hope, perhaps in the next week, perhaps the following week, that we are able to reclaim $2 and get above this green dashed line, get above this previous high that was hit on March 5th, which was at a price of $2.05.6. And moving beyond that level, the next level up that I do see is going to be the 382 from this retracement. That is at a price of $2.18.27. And just above that is the previous low that was hit at a price of $2.20.9, this red line here. So hopefully we can get above that level. But really what I do see from this retracement is the 1618 extension, and that is at a price of $2.26.43. So I am hopeful that the bottom is in and we will be making our way up to that level. But I should also note it is quite possible that this could be bearish consolidation and we do break to the downside following the formation of a bear flag. So that is something to be cautious of. We could be retesting, this level here, this low hit on February 23rd. That was at a price of $1.67.8. So hopefully we don't get any wicks below that level. Hopefully we don't get any closes below that level, because I do think that would suggest further downside and that we would be revisiting this low that was hit on February 19th, and that is at a price of $1.60.4. So hopefully this week we are able to make our way up these Fibonacci levels. Really, looking at them, I'm not sure which one stands out exactly for us to be reclaiming, but, thinking big picture, I really just want us to be getting back above $2 a share. I think that would be really key. So hopefully over the course of next week, we are able to reclaim some of these levels. And if I were to pull one out of the hat, I would say the 618 here at a price of $1.92.73. That would be a nice level to be closing the week at this coming Friday, March 22nd. Hopefully we are at or above $1.92, $1.93. I think that would be great. But now switching over to the other charts to talk about UNG. So here, what I have is, this retracement here drawn from the high that was hit on March 5th, coming down to the low that was hit on March 13th. And so we do have some levels there. And I do also want to note that UNG closed on Friday, March 15th at a price of $15.13, being down just under 3% on the day, following a green day on Thursday, just like natural gas. being up just under 4% on that day. Did get a nice big green candle there, as it does look like we got kind of a fake break of this level marked by the red line, which is $15.11, which was this previous low. And one good thing about this pullback, as you might notice, I do have this blue line drawn here at $14.93, and that corresponds with this high that was hit on February 20th. That represents a gap to the upside that we created and had not yet filled. However, we did fill that gap on the 13th. So I do think it's good that we have that behind us. And so, hopefully there's really nothing pulling us down moving forward, but it is always a possibility that we do revisit the lows. That would be $14.56. But I am hoping that we are going to be moving to the upside, reclaiming some of these levels, just like I did with natural gas. The 618 here is at a price of $16.76. So hopefully we are closing on Friday, March 22nd. Above that level, but we're just going to have to wait and see. And, if we do take a step back, the 1618 extension from this retracement is at a price of $19.89, just below $20 a share, which was a gap that we had created on the way down over here. So that always, just stood out as not only a key level that needed to be filled, but just a psychological level, $20 bill marked right there in blue. So hopefully, if we are able to move up to the 1618, hopefully we can reclaim $20. But before we get there, we do need to accomplish getting to $18 a share. Nearly got to that level on March 5th, hitting a high of $17.96. But really, we do need to claim that level, which was the previous low. So I do think there will be a lot of resistance there. But as we have seen, we did get rejected from that level here on the 5th. So hopefully the next time we get up there, we are able to claim it as support and start to move higher. And then the next level up from this yellow retracement is the 382, and that is at a price of $19.50. So hopefully we can get up there. Hopefully we can close the week above $16.76, if not, much higher, if not above 18, if not above 19.50 or 20. But I do think that we really just need to be reclaiming some of these levels to the upside. And so I'm hopeful for that, but I'm also prepared for if price does dip lower. I'm not loading the boat right now. I'm saving that for if we do start to see new all-time lows. As UNG, as natural gas, does tend to surprise us. I want to be ready for it if it does. And then speaking of surprises, let's talk about BOIL now. And so BOIL, over the course of the week, actually put in a new all-time low, hitting a price of $13.28 on March 13th. Closing the week above that, though, at a price of $13.92, being down on Friday just over 5%. Following a green day on the 14th, being up over 8% on that day. Does look like we got a break below these levels here following the low hit on the 12th, which was $13.80, but we have since reclaimed that. So hopefully we are able to move higher. And just like with UNG, there was a gap formed over here following the trading day of February 20th when we hit a high of $14.06, but then we only pulled back to the low of $14.61 hit on February 23rd. So there was this gap here, but over the course of the past week, we did fill that gap. So with that behind us, hopefully we can reclaim some levels to the upside, with one being the 618 at a price of $17.29. Hopefully we close the week on March 22nd above that level. But as I have noticed with BOIL, it doesn't tend to move to the same Fibonacci levels as natural gas. Maybe if natural gas is closing above the 618, maybe BOIL would be at the 50% level at $16.52, or maybe the 382 at a price of $15.76. And that would also correspond with filling this gap that was formed between the trading days of March 8th and 11th. So over the course of last weekend, so like we did have this gap to the downside over the weekend, hopefully we start this week with a gap to the upside and we start to reclaim some of these levels. And then the high that we hit on the 5th was at a price of $19.77, being just below the 236 retracement from this Fibonacci here at a price of $19.88. So hopefully we can close the week above those levels, or perhaps the week after. And then moving up, the 1618 extension from this Fibonacci retracement is at a price of $23.78, which does seem to correspond pretty nicely with this yellow line that I have drawn here that also coincides with the 382. So let's see, the 382 is at a price of $23.86, so just being, a few cents above that level, and then $23.83 corresponds with the previous low. So there does seem to be that there are a confluence of levels right around there. So hopefully Boyle can be getting back up to that level and holding it, starting to move higher. And one thing that is kind of encouraging about Boyle is while we did hit a new all-time low, because we did hit this level again, the low that was hit on the 15th of February being at a price of $13.45, since we did go just a little bit lower than that on March 13th. We did create a double bottom here. So hopefully that does suggest this is the floor, and Boyle as well as UNG as well as natural gas will be moving higher in the weeks to come. So that is what I'm hoping for, but I am also bracing for further downside, as because it always surprises me how low these can go. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.